I can do this video in less than 15 minutes. I had an interesting question from my wife this evening or yesterday evening. She asked me about the Illuminati, and I told her that I read about that, I don't know, about 12 years ago or so. And I did extensive research on that and all kinds of stuff, Freemasonry and all that crap, right? And she was watching something on YouTube about the Illuminati, and she asked my opinion on it. And I told her, it's really, really garbage. It is. It's really stupid. There's a lot of conspiracy theories and all kinds of stuff, And then she asked about Freemasonry, because her grandfather was a 33rd degree Freemason. And she actually got an actual authentic Morals and Dogma book by Albert Pike. She got that from her grandfather. Actually, when her grandfather died, according to their rules, you're supposed to you give it back to the Freemasons, but apparently it was never given back. So we have one of the original, very old Morals and Dogma book. So anyway, so she asked my opinion. I said, really all it's about is about wealthy elite families. And all they concern themselves with is debt and war. That's all it is. It's been going on like that for centuries. Before the Egyptians, these wealthy elite families can trace their roots back, or their bloodlines back, through King David's time, past the Egyptians, into the Babylonians, and probably even into the Sumerians. Maybe even farther back than that. But definitely back into the priesthoods of the Sumerians, if anyone really wants to really understand all this stuff. So, I'm just going to give a quick overview of the Illuminati and then give you my own opinion. So, there was a guy named Adam Weishaupt. That's Weishaupt. And he lived from 1748 to 1830. And he found that Freemasonry was too expensive and not open to his ideas. So he founded his own society, which was to have a gradal system, that's Gradal system, based on Freemasonry, but his own agenda. And that's when he came up with the concept of the Illuminati. And what it basically was, here, let me just quote it from him, actually. One second. I read it here somewhere. Okay. His project of illumination, enlightening the understanding by the sun of reason, which will dispel the clouds of superstition and of prejudice, was an unwelcome reform. You have to excuse me, I'm getting over a common cold here, so my mouth is extremely dry. He used Freemasonry to recruit from his own quasi-Masonic society with the goal of perfecting human nature through re-education to achieve a communal state with nature, freed of government and organized religion. And this is pretty much what he created. Now, this Illuminati concept was basically to illuminate them, to re-educate them, to have them have better understanding of nature's forces and of life around them. And these days especially, you have all these conspiracy theories saying that the Illuminati runs the show, which is absolute, utter crap. All these wealthy elite families is all about debt and war. If they put countries in debt, like America, perfect example. I'm an American, born and raised in America since 1958. Our country is in debt, has a deficit, and therefore has many problems. It's not really a free country. You think it's a free country, but it's not. It's owned by the wealthy elite families through either foundations or through banks. People say, well, China owns us. Yeah, but who owns the banks in China? These wealthy elite families, and they're just not Jewish people either. You know, a lot of people say, oh, the Illuminati is a bunch of Jews. Yeah, bull crap. Just look at J.P. Morgan. I mean, he's married into these old wealthy elite families as well. It's not just the poster boys, the Rothschilds. You know, you got the Queen of England is wrapped up into all this too. Which I'm sure she has very little to do with Illuminati. But she is definitely part of a very wealthy elite family. And what they concern themselves is putting countries in debt, which in turns put individuals in debt within that country. And then war. They love war. Oh, as long as their own sons and daughters don't fight on the front line, oh yeah, they love war. Oh, the bloodier the better, actually. The more war, the better. Because war makes money. There's a lot of money in war. They've been doing this for thousands of years. Thousands of years. And actually, to this day, they have turned it into an actual machine, in a sense, you know, into an actual system that actually works very well with the other concept of debt and war. And as long as you have war, you'll always be in debt. War, debt, war, debt. And who owns the war and debt? Or these wealthy elite families. And I'm not talking about billionaires. I'm not even talking about trillionaires. I'm talking about wealthy elite families that have serious power. War equals power. Debt equals money. And having that money and power is where it's at. I remember years ago, back in, this was about 1992, 1993, I had a conversation. My mother, I guess, was the referee, but she kept quiet about it. It was between me and my sister. And she said that what matters most is money. And I said what matters most is power. And this is way before I started reading anything about conspiracy theories and all this crap. And the reason why is anyone can have money, but not everyone has power. And I'm not talking about the President of the United States. I'm not talking about the NSA or the FBI, the CIA, or the ATF, or the TSA, or any of these characters, the Pentagon. I'm not talking about any of these guys. I'm talking about wealthy elite families. They can trace their bloodlines back to the Sumerians, straight through King David into the Sumerians, that have serious power. That when they make one phone call, whatever is asked of whoever's on the other side, it's actually not even a question. It's a do. Do that, and it's done. And I'm not talking about even Kissinger. Henry Kissinger is a. I would never hardly even trust him with my life. But he's not even that powerful. He has a lot of power. Don't get me wrong. He has a lot of power in American politics, let alone Chinese politics, Asian politics. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about wealthy elite families. You can trace their bloodlines back to the Sumerians, to the Sumerian priesthood that ran the show. You have to read about the Sumerian priesthood to really understand what's going on. And then you'll see things really as they are. Not so much about the Illuminati and Freemasons and all this other crap you hear about Committee of 300 and all kinds of stupid shit you'll listen to. So really what it's about, once again, is about debt and war, which is equal to money and power. And it's wealthy elite families that may have people in the Illuminati, that may have people in Freemasonry, or Skulls and Bones, or Committee of 300, or whatever, Brookings Institution, or whatever you may call it, the CFR, whatever, Trilateral. I'm sure they have certain members here and there all over the place. But it's more like a pick and choose kind of thing. You understand? These organizations don't govern these wealthy elite families. These wealthy elite families govern these CFR and all this other crap. Which is this? It's just garbage. It's all garbage, actually. It's the wealthy elite families that will continue in their places forever. And countries will be always in debt. And countries will always be at war. And this, I'm going to end it on this. You will know when there are no longer any wealthy elite families in the world. How will you know that? When every country around the world is no longer in debt and there is no war. When that happens, then you can consider yourself a free person and not being controlled by the wealthy elite families. And that's my take on it. Bye.